Hey, what's up everyone? It's Shaker here at Film Gob. Time to go live. It's that time again, that time of the year where we check out, the early reviews for a DC film. Yeah, the early reviews that are going to be posted on Twitter, Rotten Tomatoes, anywhere else, YouTube. I'll probably stay here for about half an hour to an hour, see how things go. If there's enough people in here, we'll keep it going. But it's just a video to go over what the critics are saying about Aquaman. It's about to go live in about 10 minutes or so, these reviews. Let's see who's in the chat. Let me bring up my YouTube app. Let's see. So I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. I get to see Aquaman tomorrow. I know some of you Americans have to wait, a week and a half, a bit more or something like that. But yes, I get to see it tomorrow in IMAX. Let's see who's in here. Hello, Leroy Aveen. Leroy. Thomas Caning 6, Cameron Harrington, Daniel Aguiar, Suki97, Craig Flanagan. Well, he was here earlier, but so thanks for joining in, everyone. Let's see. Suki says, gonna see it next Tuesday after I get all my assignments done. Awesome. Damned Trooper is here. Let's see. So, I bet, there's critics there. I've heard Collider didn't like it, or Rocca, whatever his name is, he didn't like it. He says that there was no build-up for the villains. There was no backstory, he says. Another one of those dumb complaints. Why would you need? I think the way he was making out is that one of those complaints where why we need to know more about these characters, as if they needed their own solo film, right? So I think it's one of those dumb complaints. But we'll see. I'm not going to be too harsh on Collider, right? Thomas says, I won't be able to see it until January. And why is that? Why January? Oh, Craig is still here. Let's see who's talking about the Aquamans. Someone says, Aquaman review embargo about to lift. Here comes the flame wars. I don't think there should be too much flaming. I don't think so. Let's see. DC World has apparently seen it. DC World, he is a YouTube channel. He's from England. He went to the London premiere, I think it was. He's got his photos with James Wan and Jason Momoa. So he's going to be posting his review. Let's see. Grace Randolph is going to she's going to be posting her review. Maria, hello Maria, she's watching it tomorrow. Gold Digger Batman. The embargo is lifting in about 4 minutes. Keenan Jones says, what are your expectations for the movie? I think the score will be over 80%. But you never know with these critics. Some of them just want to make a name for themselves. Look at me, everyone. Look at me, I'm the one hating on this movie. And they all pile on, you know, like they did with Batman v Superman. Yes, I did see Fiona's review. She's quite good at reviewing. Like, she goes into like in detail, and even her intro is better than mine. She's got all these awesome effects. It's pretty cool, man. She's pretty good at the editing. Hello, JVS. So, you know, I'm not like, oh, we have 75 watching, so I'm not like too big into the critics. Usually it's like, oh, the reviews are out for a film. I didn't even know, had no idea what the reviews for Mortal Engines were. I went to see it, I thought it was all right, came home, it's got like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes or something, I don't know. But who cares? Just watch it. Watch what you watch the trailer, you think like, oh, that looks good, I'll go and watch it. Simple. Don't need no critics. But, you know, it's always fun because it's the DC movies, and DC movies, the critics versus the fans. It's quite fun. It's all out war at times. I Am Venom says, Frosty only saw it twice, and he says, and the only thing he can say is, it's a step in the right direction. Apparently, wasn't Justice League a step in the right direction according to these critics? But according to Fiona, she liked it. I think she's seen it twice. Fiona, I don't know how to pronounce her surname. I think it's Zheng, or it might be Heng or Zheng. I'm not sure. Someone has posted their review, but I'm not going to name that account because they suck. And they spread a lot of Marvel news. And they have fake accounts. Who's this? Movie-.com. You're not ready for this James Wan epic. So that's the headline. Let's see. So Collider Video, they are Collider. They're doing their live show right now, and they've got William Bibiani on it. Biggest man baby there is. GameSpot Universe's Underwater Insanity. I'm not going to click on the link because I don't like them. But another headline from GameSpot is, Aquaman is one of the most outrageous movies we've ever seen. Don't know if that's a positive or a negative, but just waiting for I'm just going to read out these headlines. Collider says, Aquaman is a visually stunning, incredibly fun mess of a movie. This is pretty much what they said about Justice League, and another headline from them is, DC is better down where it's wetter. DC is better down where it's wetter. Yeah, whatever. Stupid headlines. According to 812filmreviews.com, Aquaman, Warner Brothers has righted the ship. It's a big, dumb, bloated underwater epic, and I absolutely loved it, says Robert Daniels. Comic Converses, an excellent journey in the seven seas. Screen International, director James Wan and star Jason Momoa inject some goofy fun into the Justice League franchise, even if it ultimately proves a bit of a damp squib. You just know some of these critics are just waiting to use stupid kind of analogies like that. Damp squib. The Rap. This is Umberto Gonzalez's stomping ground. James Wan's outrageous underwater epic rewrites the superhero rules. Who this? Wait a minute. I don't know if he's the official name. Move on. Inverse.com. The best DC movie in a decade still can't save the DCEU. So according to Inverse.com, it's the best DC movie since, The Dark Knight. So he's forgetting about Man of Steel. No, he doesn't like Batman v Superman. He probably doesn't even like Wonder Woman. No. He thinks it might be the best DC movie, but it still can't save the DCEU. I see they're all coming out. It's not saving the DCEU. It's not good enough to save the DCEU. The DCEU still needs saving, apparently. Well, I think the Chinese box office kind of proves them wrong, because it's beaten Civil War, Black Panther, Iron Man 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, with I think 94, his 3-day total was like $94 million, Chinese box office, opening weekend, and that's a little bit more than Civil War, and way ahead of Spider-Man Homecoming, way ahead of Black Panther, way ahead of Iron Man 3. So I think the DCEU is doing just fine. Polygon say it's unapologetically ridiculous and a ridiculously good time. Okay. Vanity Fair. Aquaman dives winningly into the shallows. An inventive director and a game star make for a surprisingly jolly swim. Discussing film. Breathtakingly beautiful and riveting triumph. So they're mainly positive reviews, I would say, but there's still some kind of cliched headlines here and there. Screen Crush says, "We can't believe they really made an Aquaman movie, or that it's as fun as it is." Grace Randolph, what do you think Grace Randolph says? She says, "Best DCEU movie since The Dark Knight." I find that hard to believe, but I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good. The Script says, James Wan steers the DC universe to weird, wild success. So, Scott Mendelson says, Aquaman is the cinematic equivalent of hashtag oops all berries. Oops all berries, I don't know what that is. International Business Times, the new DC movie is swimmingly good. Okay, so let's take a break there. There's about 100 people watching. Click that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Film Gob community. We are fair and balanced. So it looks like we're just going to we'll block MCU fan, you know, the loser who goes around spoiling it in the chat. He was talking to bots in the comments, trying to get their attention, bot women, like the loser that he is, trying to get their attention. He didn't realize they were bots. It was so obvious. Yes, I've blocked MCU fan. Let's see if there's any tomato meter. Is there any kind of update there? No, there's not going to be any. I don't think they have a score until tomorrow. So. Arthur says, how much money will Aquaman make? I think he'll make more than Justice League. That's all I can say. A lot of people saying it's going to make $1 billion. My good friend cultvideo.com, no, not .com, cultvideo. He did a video for us not too long ago. Cult Video says it's going to make $1 billion. We'll have to wait and see. But it started pretty well in China, doing pretty well. So Stay a Cup says, just answer the question. When it has tons of fun and jokes, will you guys still like it? No one's ever had a problem with humour and, you know, lightness in a movie. Batman v Superman had humour and lightness in it. But with Aquaman, obviously it's going to be a little bit more family friendly, because you can do that with this character. Can't really do that with Batman. It's a movie like Batman v Superman. So our problem has always been with the MCU, the over cringe jokes, too much, like ruining good moments, like that moment in Ant-Man when Michael Douglas and what's her name, they're talking about, you know, their past and what went wrong and this and that, and they cry and they hug. It's a really nice moment, and they ruin it with a stupid joke from Paul Rudd that didn't need to be in there. And there were moments in Civil War that just got ruined. Everyone was telling jokes. Infinity War as well, everyone's telling jokes. Really extended, long, dumb scenes with jokes. And according to Fiona, Aquaman doesn't have that. So there's your question answered. Stay a cup. Campea rated Aquaman below Man of Steel and Wonder Woman. Uh, 49 on Metacritic. Did I see that? 48. Tanmay says, who the F is Campea? John Campea, formerly of Collider, formerly of, don't know what else did he did EMC Movie Talk, then he moved on to Collider like everyone else. Arthur, I will watch Aquaman tomorrow afternoon. I'll have my review up, a short non-spoiler review tomorrow. And then I might do a spoiler discussion, hopefully with Dr. Ooze. You might remember Dr. Ooze. We've done some podcasts together. Hopefully we can do something there. Okay, let's go back to the Twitter, see what's up. Comic book resources. Aquaman is entertaining and visually stunning. Re-info. DC superhero movie is a wild and goofy ride. Let's see. Comic book debate. They say a strong emotional core centered on family grounds. A strong emotional core centered on family grounds the film as James Wan takes the audience on a journey unlike any other. Okay. JoeBlow.com. A superhero film that looks and feels like the medium it's adapting while also being a true cinematic experience. I like that. Let's see what Mario F. Robles is saying. I'm desperate to read some reviews of Aquaman, and yet it's hard for me to think up specific names of critics I know share my sensibilities. That's always the hard part when it comes to deciding which reviews to trust and which to ignore. Well, I would kind of just read the kind of familiar names, trying to find out some new critics that you don't know of, but you might find some good YouTube channels that way, some interesting websites or blogs that way. But at the end of the day, it's down to you. Do you want to go and see the movie? I was supposed to do a video basically going over a lot of the things that have been going on with Aquaman, the box office. I did a poll, how many of you want to see the movie? I think 10% said they had no interest. I think there was about over 500 votes. About 10% said they're not interested. 32% said they want to watch the movie 3 times or more. Around about 28% said they'll watch it twice. About 30% said they'll watch it once. So kind of split evenly amongst, watching it once, twice, 3 times or more. So yeah, let's see. It's stupid headlines like this: digital spy, Jason Momoa's fish-talking superhero could save the DC. Yeah, every time it needs saving. Let's see, I think Rotten Tomatoes has been updated. No, it's not. Well, actually, William Bibiani gave it. Is this right? Is it? You can never tell if it's been photoshopped. Someone says 6 reviews have gone up on Rotten Tomatoes, and they are all fresh. William Bibiani is one of them. So let me know in the chat, how are you feeling about these reviews? They seem fairly positive. Like I said earlier, 80% or more. That's what it sounds like to me with these descriptions, these headlines. Comicbook.com says, Aquaman is a visually stunning win for DC. 4 stars. Okay, so let's go back to the chat, see what you guys are saying. And also, everyone stop asking me about Brightburn. I don't care about that crap, that James Gunn trash. Don't care. Okay, so let's go to Metacritic, see what's happening there. Uh, 12 reviews on Metacritic, 48%. The score is 48. IGN's Jim Vivoda gave it 75. We Got This Covered gave it 70. The Wrap gave it 85. IndieWire gave it 50. In a better world, Aquaman would excel at delivering an ecological message to the masses, but all the fish in the sea can't salvage a movie that refuses to go more than surface deep. The Hollywood Reporter gave it 50. Entertainment Weekly gave it 42. Slant Magazine gave it 38. Oh, look at this nonsense from Slate. Often divertingly colourful and busy to a fault. Oh, it's being colourful and busy is a fault now. The film seems to dare us to mock the world of comics. The world of comics is most risible. I don't know how to. I think it's risible superhero. So they're basically saying it dares us to mock this much maligned superhero. So they're basically describing MCU films here. Slant Magazine. They're basically describing MCU films, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Though that's where they're usually kind of. That's what Marvel movies get praised for. They're self-aware. Oh, they're making fun of these things. But here's when DC's doing it. Oh, it's not. It's a fault. So yeah, that's Metacritic 48. And Big Bodie, I did see the Brightburn. I saw the trailer. Is garbage. It's absolute trash. Here's the thing, right? If I was James Gunn, and I'm thankful that I'm not, right? But if I was James Gunn and everyone's attention was on me after I'd been sacked from Disney, after being exposed for all those dirty tweets, right? Everyone's attention's on me, and I come out and everyone's wondering, what's his next move going to be? What's he going to do next? And I know it's not his film. I think he's producing it, and I think it's his brothers are writing, directing it, I think. But he's producing it. And they're like, and if I was James Gunn and I knew people's eyes were on me, and I come out with this, Brightburn, and it's kind of ripping off Man of Steel and making it a bit of a joke, but at the same time it's a horror film. It's like, this is juvenile garbage. It's like something a teenager would do. I would be embarrassed to put my name on something like that, so that's how I feel about Brightburn. Adam Hacklavik said, why are we still calling it the DCEU? Because that's what this name is. You idiot, Adam. You dum-dum. Snyderverse is here, Jose M is here. Okay, so Rotten Tomatoes has been updated. 8 reviews, 7 fresh, 1 rotten. That 1 rotten is from, actually there's 2 rotten here. Robbie Collin of Daily Telegraph of the BBC as well. Robbie Collin, who looks like a 70s, I'm not going to say anything more. He looks like he's time travelled from the 70s, right? Robbie Collin of the BBC. For all its sporadic wackiness and wonder, on balance, Aquaman is still on balance, Aquaman still comes out a bore. But they've given it a heroic shake. 2 out of 5. He is such, like, basically the only way I know who Robbie Collin is because Mark Kermode and Simon Mayo, they have their film review show on the BBC radio, and when Mark Kermode is away, now I like Mark Kermode, he's funny, don't agree with him all the time, but he actually said good things about Man of Steel, Watchmen, I think, and all that. So he used to kind of mock Zack Snyder's name early on, but he cut it out after a while. So, but anyway, when Mark Kermode's away, they bring in Robbie Collin, and nobody likes Robbie Collin, especially in the comments. Everyone hates the guy. So this is William Bibiani of The Wrap. He says, Wan seems to be operating under the philosophy that sci-fi fantasy should stretch the limits of the imagination, even at the cost of possibly looking ludicrous. Either way, you're in for a spectacle. So, yeah, it's kind of heading for that 80% from what it looks like, 80 to 90%. Hello, Ahimsa. It's 51 on Metascore now. BTW says, some knob with rotten review is mad for no strong eco message. I think we read that earlier, that they don't like the movie because it missed its chance to promote a friendly eco message or something. Psycho Bevo says, critics are so irrelevant when movies like Venom or Bohemian Rhapsody and so many other movies get trashed but are popular anyway. It proves critics have zero influence. You're starting to see that more and more. Like Venom, like Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm not sure how Rhapsody did at the box office, but I think it did okay. And you know, Venom's been running away with it. It's insane. So make sure you click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, because we want more people to join our Film Gob community, right? We're fair and balanced. You've got characters, we've got comedy. We do a little bit of everything. I think that's why our channel is kind of hard to get across, because there's some YouTube channels that do the same stuff, same videos over and over again. They've got nothing new to say. They might have like a ton of people on their staff. They've got personalities, but they're kind of boring in a way, in my opinion. And we do a little bit of everything. We make fun of other channels. We give you our reviews. We do a bit of comedy. We do some reactions. We've got Coco Rodriguez. We've got Shorty McShortbread. So subscribe if you haven't already, if you're watching. Oh, I might have some, we've got a Christmas special coming up. You do not want to miss the Christmas special. I think I'll upload it around about the 23rd of this month, just before Christmas Eve, so you've got something to watch. Got some special guests in this video. I think you'll like it. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see in the Christmas special. Let me know if there's any particular film you want us to review, a Christmas film. You know, I think Kurt Russell did a Santa movie for Netflix or something. I might review that. Okay, so let's go back to Twitter, see if there's any more reviews coming out. Screen Rant says, Aquaman reviews are in, and it sounds like DC's latest is a very entertaining and very weird superhero adventure. So they're not reviewing it themselves. I think they're just collecting reviews. Complex. Aquaman is easily at least the second best modern era DC film, but is that saying much? Don't Complex own Collider? Or they used to? Let me know in the chat. Complex and Collider, wasn't there some kind of arrangement with them? Forbes.com. Aquaman is outrageously entertaining and gloriously bonkers. Glorious. Na 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 na. I may be victorious. Well, people saying the tomato meter is sitting around about 72%, even though I don't see it here on my screen, but that's what they're saying. You know what? Let's try and listen to Grace Randolph. I think that's what we'll do. Actually, no, I might get a copyright or something like that. So let's leave it. So I Am Venom says, no, well, Harris says Complex sold Collider. Omega Supreme says Collider is going independent as Mark Fernandez buys site from Complex, March 2018. That's right. That's what happened. He sent that Mark Fernandez sent a copyright strike to my channel. I can't remember what it was for. I think it was the Collider. No, it was the Todd McFarlane shutting down Frosty, that video that you can go and watch on Twitter. Todd McFarlane shuts down Collider Frosty's Feige worship, and when I got a copyright strike sent to my channel, it had Mark Fernandez's name next to it. Little snake, Frosty. No, is what Todd McFarlane said. Yes, Mortal Engines was quite good. No, it was okay. It was mixed, frustrating, some good stuff in it, some average, but I liked it overall. Stop asking me about MCU. I like the first phase of MCU films. There you go. All right. Okay, so at the moment it's 75% on Rotten Tomatoes. 19 fresh, 7 rotten. So there's a battle going on. You've got some critics ready to tear it apart. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune, he says, watching this movie is like spending 2 hours and 27 minutes staring at a gigantic aquarium full of digital sea creatures and actors on wires pretending to swim. 1.5 out of 4. So suddenly now fantasy films are bad. Special effects are bad. DC, you're not allowed to have these elaborate effects. Yeah, it was IndieWire, it was Eric Cohn, who says, in a better world, Aquaman would excel at delivering an ecological message to the masses. Why are you, what the hell are you relying on a superhero movie to teach you about ecological messages? Yeah, go and read about it on the internet, get involved in charities and volunteer work if you want to help the oceans and all that. You're not going to watch a documentary, you're watching a superhero film. So that's IndieWire, how predictable. Who else? Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian. He says, this is a letdown. A laborious, slow-moving and dripping wet film. Barnacle encrusted with solemnity and with a Ripley underwater production design that looks like a giant version of the kishy items that you put in fish tanks. What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying. It's just hyperbolic nonsense. Look how clever with words I am. I'm a critic. Take me seriously. So that I'm just reading some of the negative reviews because they're the funniest. Barnacle encrusted. That sounds like critics. Crusty, old people, you know. Reality in Motion says, are you open to the idea that you may come out of Aquaman and not like it? It's possible, you know, but like the trailers for me have gotten better as I've been kind of watching them. I've watched all of them, I think, pretty much. So when the first trailer came out, I wasn't sure. I was like, But as time goes on, I started to, you know, especially that behind the scenes stuff and the extended trailer, like, oh, okay, this is more. Oh no, the final trailer, that music, what they show in it, it's probably the best of them all. See you later, Snyderverse. Crom the Warrior says, bad reviews do affect a movie. Some people don't go see movies because of bad reviews. Yes, some people are like that. They're just like, they don't even understand the Rotten Tomato score. They just look at the number and go, oh, the professionals are telling me this is a bad movie. Or they're telling you it's a good movie. But I've still not seen the Frosty interviewing the Russos. I need to watch that. There might be a little bit of cringe in there. JD says that he got to see a fan screening last night. It's absolutely epic. Jeremy Melvin says, do you think people make up their minds on how they like a movie before they see it? I think critics are like that. They have their, you know, favourite studios or favourite directors, favourite actors, and they want to look forward to a movie so much, and they're like, oh, this is going to be great, and this is why it's going to be great, and they go see it, and then they project their own hype on the movie, and then they come out and say, yeah, it was nothing wrong with that. Like that film Widows was borderline bad, and I wanted to like it, but I came out, I was like, this is not a good film. You can have, I know it's got a great cast, I know it's got a great director, and you know, the film looks quite good, well directed, but man, the script was trash. The plot was horrible. Some of the themes just went nowhere, but no, the critics thought it was, and you go to the Rotten Tomatoes and it's like barely above, I think the last time I checked, the audience score was barely above Fresh, but the critics were like 90% or something. Patrick Bell, it's okay. So at the moment, Aquaman is getting fairly positive reviews. It's about 75% on the Rotten Tomatoes, about over 50% on Metacritic, 76 now on Rotten Tomatoes, 20 Fresh reviews, 7 Rotten. Now the average rating at the moment on the RT is 6.1 out of 10. Interesting. So even though the film's getting like positive reviews, that their rating itself is kind of low, kind of above average. So it's 53 now on Metacritic, now 78 on RT. So I think we'll leave it there. How long have I been on here? 53 minutes. We'll give it another 7 minutes or so. If there's any questions you've got for me, let me know. If you're watching, you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. I'll be doing my review of Aquaman tomorrow. I'll get to watch it tomorrow. I'll do my review tomorrow. MX Bravo says, it'll be hilarious if Aquaman is a really good live action Disney movie. Nah, I doubt that very much. Lululius 93. Lulu Louise. It's a nice name. Lulu Louise 93. How in the world did Into the Spider-Verse get 100% on Rotten Tomatoes? Because these publications and these websites, these YouTube channels, they send, you know, their most hardcore comic book geeks. And of course it's Spider-Man, so they're going to, everyone who doesn't like Spider-Man, so they're going to send out these young, you know, fanboy-esque reviewers, and they're going to give it a positive score. And then they all pile on with their positive scores, and that's what happens. And you've seen my video. If you haven't, go and check it out. It's called How to Review Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And you'll see the similarities in what the critics are saying. A little bit, it can't be a coincidence. Definitely they're reading from some kind of script, or they've been influenced by Sony Pictures to kind of read from a script that they've been given to review the film. I'm sure it's good. I'm going to watch on Thursday, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and we'll see how it is. But I just find some of these things that they come out with, like, it deserves an Oscar. Like 3-4 people said that, or deserves an Oscar. Why? There's plenty of animated films that done well this year. You don't say that about them, but you say it about this, and you've all seen it. And it can't be that. I just find it hard to believe it's that good. But I'll see. They talk about they saw things in this movie that have never been done in animation, which is complete nonsense. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Yeah, like people, SC Reviews saw the film and he says that the film hurt his eyes because of the style of animation. It's up to 78%, Aquaman. So that's one thing the Warner Brothers are maybe learning, you know, that they released Aquaman, they premiered it in London, they premiered it in, you know, the Brazil Comic-Con, China, they debuted it over there, premiered it on the weekend, breaking records. The UK and Russia are getting it this week. And then you're going to get, you know, the America, US release in about a week and a half. So all this kind of positivity, a lot of money being made, getting people hyped. You've got the headlines, oh, it's breaking records. You know, people in the US are like, what's happening? Need to watch this movie. But that is surprising. It beat, you know, in China, it beat Spider-Man Homecoming, that completely flew past those kind of movies. Spider-Man Homecoming, Iron Man 3, Black Panther, Civil War. So that's nothing to scoff at. And I know they're you know, Warner Brothers, they're doing it definitely looks like, well, you know, you can see they are lightening up or going the Marvel route, but then they're doing an R-rated Birds of Prey film, they're doing this Joker film, so, and they're apparently developing this Plastic Man film, so they're, as long as, that's all I've ever wanted from Warner Brothers, as long as they give us variety, I'll be fine with that. It's not, I mean, I admit I would have preferred the Snyderverse for the movies to be in a similar tone to his films, but that's not possible, because when you've got characters like Shazam, Plastic Man, The Flash, you know, so Blue Beetle. Kevin says, if I can only see one movie in IMAX 3D this month and the rest in standard, Aquaman, Mortal Engines, or Spider-Verse. I saw Mortal Engines in 2D, it was fine. Spider-Verse, I'm not touching that with 3D in no way. And Aquaman, that's the movie I'm going to watch in 3D, so. Damned Trooper says, variety and style is something I wanted to see in the MCU for so long. X-Men at Fox nailed it for that. Arthur, yes, Celtic are playing on Thursday. It's a big game. Okay, so we've been here for an hour. Hopefully the stream went smoothly. I heard someone say the voice was cutting out or whatever, but hopefully everything went well. Any of you watching still not subscribed to my channel, click that subscribe headbutt, or like Baby Darkside says, smash that mother effing subscribe button. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Discord. There's a link to the Discord in the description, Letterboxd, all that stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Aquaman reviews are fairly positive. We've gone through some of them. I'm sure there's videos out there. I'm sure you're all going to want to hear what Grace Randolph has to say. So you can go and watch her video now. And I'll see you tomorrow for the Aquaman review. So click that like button, share, and of course subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Shaker, and I will catch you later.